Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's going to be a little bit of a quicker video. Today I'm going to go through getting ready for a tournament. Now obviously you've got your army, you've got that all painted up, you're ready to go, but what should you put in your tournament bag to take to the event and help you play your games with as much sort of speed and accuracy and just general composure and ability to play the game without taking up undue time during the course of the game. So with that said, I'm going to take you through my own tournament pack just behind me of what I'm packing in my bag for the Damage GT here in South Australia, a Warhammer 40k GT, my first Warhammer 40k GT in a long time, and I am woefully unprepared for this event. 0-5, you heard it here first. But with that said, I'm going to take you through my pack that I've picked up for the tournament and just give you some ideas of things you might like to put in your pack and explain why I do certain things in my tournament bag and take certain things like I do there. So that said, let's get looking at the bag. Alrighty, so first things first, we have cases, and there are lots of different ways to train your army. Depends how you're sort of going. Do you have to take public transport? Are you taking a plane to the event? What are you doing to get to the event? You know, you can just put them in a box and just let your miniatures run around, or you can take them in something like the Games Workshop style bags as well. But what I've got here is a magnetic army box. Now, this one is from Magnature Cases, which is a Australian company. They gave me this box, which is awesome. And so I've still got to magnetize all my minis in here, but you can see I've got a full 2,000 point Eldar army, tanks, flyer, and all in there. I need to magnetize all the bases, magnetize these miniatures here as well, but it'll be a nice, easy way to transport. You can see like some of these cases are pretty decent. I've got 2 wave serpents sitting in there. Now, of course, you need to plan your case based on your army. There are certain models that are definitely much harder to fit inside cases like this. There are definitely a ton of different cases on the market. I suggest you really go do your homework, sort of figure out what sort of space you need, but magnetized cases are fantastic. When these are magnetized, they'll be able to sit on these magnetic shelves and not move at all. I can turn this thing sideways and they'll be fine, as long as you've put enough magnets on. Make sure you do that. But that's my case, and Magnature also allow you to do these cool little custom designs on there. You can see my cool little Sinful Gaming logo on there. Really cool stuff, Magnature. Now, onto dice. What dice should you take to an event? Now, obviously, this is going to vary based on the event you're playing in. But generally, how I like to rock with dice is I like to have 2 main colored dice. These are different, so when I have large quantities of the same dice, or different dice being used, so say I've got 2 different weapons in a squad, but I want to roll them all at once, I've got 2 different colored dice here. So say, you know, I'm in range to shoot with both my auto guns and the rest of the unit that's only got pistols, I can shoot with both weapons at the same time. Saves a ton of time than rolling, you know, this, working out my auto guns, then working out my auto pistols. I can roll these. In addition to this, I generally like to keep a couple of different colored dice. These here can be used for some nice sort of, I guess, unique things. You know, maybe you've got a spell in a game that gives you plus a certain amount of attacks on your miniature, so you want to mark how many attacks that miniature gets. And then, you know, these can be, you know, like, not so much, they can be low wound model wound markers as well. But speaking of wound markers, D10s and D20s, I think, are the best markers for wounds in games. Now, if you can, try and find numerical dice. These ones that GW did a little while ago, I don't know if they still do them, were numerical and are fantastic. They're actually really nicely balanced and don't move an awful lot on the table. Unfortunately, my D20s, I couldn't find my ones, but if you want really good D20s to use for Warhammer, go look at Magic the Gathering. Their dice are numerical, that they're used for like life point encounters in Magic the Gathering, so really good dice to have there. Also, if you'd like to grab some Sinful Gaming dice and help support the channel, you can do so on the link down to our Ko-fi in the video's description. Now, depending on what game you're playing, you will have potentially, say, Age of Sigmar, terrain dice. You can pick these up from a variety of different places. I picked these up from the Dice Guy, same place that we order our bulk dice for Sinful Gaming on as well. But the terrain dice for Age of Sigmar, and these work really well at helping mark the table. Other things to start considering bringing are War Scroll cards or ability cards. Data cards for 40k are really cool. You can, update them yourself if the FAQ, but this has everything from psychic powers to all my different stratagems and stuff like that. And what I would do with these, if you're playing with an army at a tournament like Eldar, what I'm going to do before I go to the event is I'm going to curate the deck that's in here. So all the cards that have no application to my models, the stratagem, and I can't use the psychic powers, I don't have all of that, take them out, put them to the side, put them back in when you're back from your tournament. Will make your life a lot easier. And lastly, a dice cup. This is really good, especially when you get large quantities of dice, just to help roll dice. Doesn't need to be a dice cup, can be, a container or whatever. Something else to mention on dice, though, that I like to consider is making them easy to read. You can see these different 4 dice, all really easy to see. I can move back here, and I can still tell what those dice are. Really, it's important to have your dice super readable on the table so your opponent across the other side of the table can read your dice. I've ordered plenty of bad dice before, and there's been plenty of bad ones that have come out from different companies over time. But yeah, make sure your dice are super readable. Generally, a nice bold color or a darker sort of mix of color. And then you have the opposite, whether you have, like black here, I've got white pips, or the blue here, I've got white pips. Well, these brighter orange dice, I've got nice dark black pips on them. Now, moving on to the last sort of things I like to consider bringing, game-wise anyway, are measuring gauges. And these can come in a variety. First of all, your handy tape measure. This should be the first thing you pack. These are really cool. Depending on what game you're playing, you might need them at like an extra inch or so. But 3-inch markers, these are really cool. In Age of Sigmar, we generally get these for a lot of tournaments. What we've got here is we've got 3-inch on the long side, 2-inch, 1-inch, half an inch. Really good for measuring stuff here to see what's in range. We've then got a variety of different size measuring sticks. We've got our 18-inch one, our 12-inch one, 9-inch. I think when you're playing Warhammer, these are the most important, your 9-inch ones, because they're going to be the ones that determine where you can sort of deep strike or come in from reserves in Age of Sigmar, stuff like that. And lastly, 2 things I like to take to events. First of all, super glue. Accidents happen. You want some super glue at an event. Accidents happen. You might knock your own models, you might knock someone else's, whatever. Having some super glue on hand, or even just for your opponent. If your opponent knocks their own model over and breaks something, it can be really disheartening. Just having a bit of super glue on hand. You don't use plastic glue on painted miniatures. It doesn't bond properly. Use super glue at all times. And if you need to, when you're home, you can break it again and sort of paint the area and set the model up nicely, but this will get you through the event. Lastly, a bit of blue tack. Sometimes they are tiny fiddly bits, or they may be too large bits for super glue to work instantly, and you've got another game straight away after. Blue tack can be your favorite. You can see this is my terrible piece of blue tack from my spray stick. But blue tack is really good to have, especially for larger miniatures if you have breaks on them, or if stuff is falling over. Blue tacking like a 5-cent piece or a small coin to the bottom of your base is fantastic for helping models stay balanced. But besides that, obviously, rule books, army books, definitely things you want to bring. You can generally bring them on digital formats now as well. But this is additional stuff, and as opposed to the army and the rule books that you would need to take to an event. These are some cool items and some ways I like to work my dice and stuff like that for an event. With that said, I'll leave a list of this down in the comments below so you can get an idea of what to take to your events. Hope it's been helpful for anyone going to an event. And yeah, hope it's been helpful. That's the end of the video, everyone. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, drop us a comment down below in the comment section and let us know what you enjoyed about the video and what you'd like to see more of on the channel. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little community here we have at Cinderful Gaming, you can do so on our Discord server, which is linked in the video's description. Also linked in the video's description is our Patreon and YouTube members, where you can go to help support the channel and allow us to keep doing what we're doing. As a special thank you to our Patreons and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons: Christian Weir, Soren, Greenskins Gaming, Kenny Lauer, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ant, Q Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Derek, and Giappi390, and to our YouTube members: Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, and Monty's Tabletop Terrain. And lastly, a special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork you see on the channel. Thank you all for watching. Once again, stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now, everyone.